Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is Ankur Chani and I hope you are doing great. In today's video, we are diving deep into something every modern React or Next.js developer need to know. How third-party package behaves in the new server component pattern introduced in Next.js. So now server components are changing how we think about rendering in React, shifting more logic to the server to improve performance. But here is a catch. Not all third-party packages are built in for the change to come work perfectly. So for our second server component pattern, we will explore working with third-party packages. So let's move on to the slide. So here you can see that in the third-party package, we will discuss that React server component had introduced a modern way to improve performance and reduce bundle size by running code on the server. But here is a catch. Most of the React ecosystem was built around client-side rendering, and while many third-party libraries are starting to adjust, not all of them are ready for this server-driven architecture. In fact, some library now explicitly use the use client directive at the top of their file to ensure they execute in the browser. This tells React run this on the client. But here is a twist. A lot of popular NPM packages still haven't updated for server compatibility. That means if you try to use them inside a server component, you could run into rendering issue, broken functionality, or even more runtime errors. So what was the workaround? You can manually wrap any third-party component that require client-side feature in your own client component. It is clean and effective solution to this problem. So let's do a example so that you can easily understand what I am talking about and how the third-party packages will used in the client side by wrapping them into a third-party component. So let's move on to the Visual Studio Code. So for example, we are taking the React Silk packages which can basically used for a Carousel component built with React. So it is a simple Carousel package in which number of images will be like worked as a Carousel. So here first of all we can install this particular React Silk. So we can use a command. We'll just copy and paste that command over here. So just we need to install the React Silk Carousel on our project. So we need to wait in a time limit so that after that it can be installed. So here it is. You can see that React Silk has been installed properly. So now here if you come across the page downwards, here you can see a playground. So let's click on playground. So here you can see a code of image slider.jsx. So first of all we need to copy that image slider code and we are using that in our client side code. Okay, for that first of all we need to copy all the slider code over here, and let's move on to the Visual Studio Code, and we can go to the copy that code into the page.tsx of client side. So first of all we need to comment this out and we need to paste our code related to React. Okay, now after that we can also also copy this particular function content of return statement. So we can just copy all the stuff from here and paste it inside the result statement. So like paste here itself. So now one more thing that okay, we need to close that particular tag over here. One more thing that place kitten is not working on that. So for this we have to use some other URL that is pixel.photos. Let's replace that placekitten.com with pixel.photos. So we just copy control with H and we can write pixel.photos and replace all the URL of it. So here you can see we have replaced all the stuff from here and all the things. Now let's see and run the browser and let's see and move with the client route on the browser. Let's run the server npm runtime. So now let's visit the browser and click on the visit the route client route on the browser. So let's move over to the browser. So here I can type client route. So here you can see it is just loading, and here you can see the Carousel off and it is working fine without any issue. Okay, now what if we add this particular code on the server side? Let's try this. So we just go to the server page.tsx and we just copy all the stuff from the client page to the we can just copy all the import all the copy, click to it and paste it over here, and after that we can copy all the return statement from them copy it and go to the server and just paste it over there. Okay, now it is working. Now here this is our client server side component. Let's see what we see on the browser. Let's try to visit the localhost 3000 / server route and let's see what we see on the browser. So let's move on to the browser. So let's visit localhost 3000. Client's route is working fine without an issue. So now we visit localhost 3000 server route. So here you can see an issue that we hit a problem. Why? Well, the Flutter component use the client side feature, but the library itself doesn't include the use client directive. So we could not add use client to our server route, because if the solution to this, if we add the use client on the server, so then it is a problem with the security related to the server side thing, such as we giving a valuable server side capability like database calls, access to the secret environment variables, etc. So to resolve this, we must encapsulate third party component that depend on client only feature within your own client component. So in the component folder, we will create a new file with the name image slider. So let's create that. So here inside the component, we can create a file name called image slider. We can create a file with the name image slider.jsx, and copy all the code from them. So we can just copy all the theme, copy and cut from here and paste it on here. After that, we can also copy the return statement for it. We can copy paste from here. We can paste that particular here, and we will give a name to it. We can give a name to it. Hold on. So we can just copy. We can create export function to it. We can give a name to it as a image slider. Okay, image slider. Inside that, we can pass the code of JSX, which we have copied from the playground of React Slick. Okay, now here you can see that we have export default. We can export this particular export default image slider. So here we need to create the function with the name export, and we can give it the arrow function to it. So now we have create a image slider component into this, and after that we can implement that on the server route. So for this, we can just create a empty fragment inside the return statement, inside return, so that we can wrap two element. So we can just keep that inside, and after that we can call image slider. So here you can see the image slider which is coming from component image slider. So we can just keep it and we can paste it over here. And now let's move on to the browser to see how it will be shown on the browser. So let's move on to the browser. Now we just reload that. So here you can see, just wait for a second to image. So here you can see that server route and server result will be there, and also our client component which are using. So here if you go to the code of the server route, here you can see that only one element having the client side browser or in this client side component. So in this we have a client which allow us to leverage the ecosystem of third party with adhering to the new component model. So right away, one more component pattern to cover. Let's see what that is. So for this summary, that third party in the React ecosystem are in the transitional phase where numerous components from npm package haven't yet adopted the use. So client directed wrapping such component in our own client component will allow us to leverage the ecosystem. Now for this, so that's all for this video in today's third party package in Next.js. Always make sure to use the right package whether it is a server or the client, to avoid build issue or improve performance. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. See you in the next one. Happy coding. Thank you.